a fighting nation, the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
The question is, can he land what the great Firas Zahabi likes to call the touch of death?
For 13 seconds. All it took to take out Jose Aldo.
But what's interesting is we're at UFC, but this guy is unusual.
He's as notorious as it gets.
It's time! Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, presenting the pride of Ireland and the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, the challenger, the notorious Conor McGregor!
To protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck.
Conor McGregor, champion against champion. Here we go! I'm at 155 since 2012.
He got tagged. He's home.
Can he finish it right here, right now? Alvarez popped back up. Changer.
It is.
And
He
again.
hurt him again. He hurt him bad.
Conor did it back at home in Ireland. And he delivers another big left.
It just seems to be one of those punches and fighters just get shocked by.
Two.
And Eddie Alvarez has been there before. Oh, tagged him again. Man, the accuracy of that left hand. Oh, wow. Look at this.
Really?
Hand, but not enough to hurt him.
Now they're saying
Alvarez
officially.
swinging hard. He got tagged.
Alvarez getting loose, getting better here in this round, though.
Oh, man.
Until that.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
It is all over. History has been made.
And new undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor!
The first man ever to hold two titles simultaneously.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants. This is what I want to do. This is what I dreamed into reality. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. God bless.
Conor McGregor, congratulations.
Yes.
It's been an honor calling your fight, sir.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What's good, everybody? This is Chris from Mendoza here. I hope you like that little quick intro I made for you guys. I know it's been quite some time since, I made a video quite like this, you know what I mean? Like I just got done fucking graduating, finishing up school and everything. I had to grind and get the whole thing over with type shit, you feel me? So, I think this is appropriate now to because right now in combat sports is a very interesting time period for boxing, MMA and shit. And who better to talk on that whole thing than the biggest draw in combat sports, arguably, than Conor McGregor, Now Conor McGregor, I don't even think this nigga needs an introduction. This nigga was the man back in 2015, 2016 type shit. His takeover was insane. Not just in MMA, but just in combat sports in general, you know what I mean? When he knocked out fucking Chad Mendes, you know what I mean, to get the interim belt. When he knocked out Jose Aldo for 145 belt, you know what I mean? Or when he lost to Nate Diaz, you know what I mean? He did get his ass whooped, but then he came back in that rematch, he showed his heart, you know what I mean? And when obviously in his best performance, arguably, when he beat Eddie Alvarez in 2016 for the lightweight belt, So with that being said, it's a very fair question to ask where Conor McGregor stands now, you know? Now, obviously, I've already made a video, something like this, talking about his comeback. And I feel like in that video, I didn't really get too much in depth, you know? But I think now is a fair time to like really like delve in as to like what Conor McGregor has left. So firstly, I want to say Conor McGregor, you know, in his last few fights, he hasn't exactly looked his best, albeit for the Cowboy fight back in, I believe, 2020. So let's see, like the timeline with Conor McGregor is rather interesting, you know, like obviously like, okay, he beats Eddie Alvarez, right, knocks him the fuck out, knocks him silly, right? Then he goes off to fight Floyd Mayweather, right, in a boxing match, you know? And for a nigga that's never fucking competed in boxing, you know, he did pretty fucking good. He went 10 rounds with the motherfucker, you know? Obviously, he lost, got his ass whooped and shit. But he did offer us that entertainment, you know what I mean? The entertainment value. So then, after that, the whole thing with Khabib happens. I won't get too much into it. You guys, I'm sure you guys know what happened there. The bus incident. And the fucking back and forth at that press conference. And
I'm gonna mow you. Let's wrestle, kid. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
And the fight itself, you know. And Khabib fucking decimated McGregor, you know. But, you know what I mean? Conor did have his moments in that fight, like in that third round where he did manage to outstrike Khabib. He did stuff some of the takedowns, you know. But didn't last long, you know, because in the fourth round, we all saw what happened. But then, takes another year off, you know. And that's when the Cowboy fight happens, you know, and knocks Cowboy out in 40 seconds, you know. So then he takes another year off. Right now we're looking at the beginning of last year, 2021. That's when he fought Dustin Poirier, a guy that he already beat several years ago in the first round. Fucking knocked him out.
That's it. It's over. Just like that.
So then, when the fight starts, you know, Conor did look good, you know what I mean? He did have his moments. He even had Dustin hurt bad, like a couple times in both rounds, you know, but the calf kicks that Dustin put on Conor, the fucking pressure, it was all building and building and building, you know, until the inevitable happened. And that's when Conor McGregor got knocked the fuck out for the first time in his career. So then, after that, you know, a few months later, that's when the trilogy bout happened.
I'm here with Conor McGregor. Conor, this is an immense fight, a huge fight for your career, a huge fight for the sport. What does tomorrow night mean to you?
Joe, in 16 hours' time, this man is gonna learn that if you disrespect a person's kindness and take it as a weakness, you must pay. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna make this man pay with his life, and I mean it. You're dead in that octagon tomorrow night.
And that's when he decides to go into the fight with a hairline fracture. Now, aside from the obvious injury he had going into the fight, Conor McGregor did look like his old self. He did look like the guy that won the lightweight belt back in 2016, you know, with that wide-bladed karate stance, you know? But because of the hairline fracture, he wasn't able to, like, you know, he wasn't able to be light on his feet like he was back in his prime, you know? Like, he looked very rusty, you know? And that's why Dustin Poirier, he was able to outstrike McGregor at certain points, you know. It was bad, to say the least, you know. So that's when Conor McGregor, we all saw what happened, breaks his ankle, and it was very anticlimactic, especially for a trilogy bout of this magnitude. Like, when you think of trilogy fights, you obviously think of, like, you know, Ali, Frazier, like recently, like Fury and Wilder, you know what I mean? Just big monumental highlights in combat sports history, you know what I mean? And for a trilogy bout of this magnitude to end the way it did, it was very underwhelming, you know. I know for me, I know for my ass it was, you know what I mean? Just watching that, I remember like watching it with my fam and shit, and it was disappointing to say the least, you know. So now it's been like almost a year since that happened. Where does Conor McGregor stand now? You know, I think it's a very fair question to ask. You know, if you're a fan of McGregor, if you're a hater of McGregor, whatever, you know. For a guy that's 33 years old, I believe, and with all the fucking money this nigga has, like, what does he have to, like, offer, right? As far as, like, you know, like, he's got all this money and everything, you know? Why does he need to keep fighting, you know? I think that's a very, very fair question to ask, you know? And the thing I can speak as far as, like, as a fan and as, you know, an avid, like, boxer, you know? Some of us guys, like, it's just in our heart to compete, you know, or it's in our heart to fight, you know, or train or whatever, you know? And it doesn't matter, like, how fucking, like, how much bread you got, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, like, if that warrior spirit, if that competitive spirit is inside you, you're gonna keep competing regardless, you know? So you gotta give some credit to McGregor for deciding to even, like, compete with the lions of the UFC, you know, or the high level, the elite competitors, like the pinnacle type shit. You get what I mean? So nigga, like, I think that's one reason why McGregor decides to keep fighting is because of, like, just that competitive warrior spirit, you know? I'm like, yeah, McGregor, like, he's had his fair share of controversies in the past, like fucking decking an old man in the fucking face for not wanting to drink his whiskey or things of that nature, you know? I mean, he's already apologized for that, right?
As far as, like, my fellow colleagues, I deserve to be called out on it. I deserve to be called out on that behaviour. It's just unacceptable. There's no excuse to it.
But aside from all that, McGregor, like, he decides to keep fighting because, you know, it's in his soul to compete, you know? But when does it get to the point where it's like, you know what I mean? Should I really be competing? You know what I mean? I got all this money and everything, like, and obviously those punches, right? They're not making me any healthier, you know? Like, every punch you take fucking kills brain cells, you know what I mean? So why do I compete, you know what I mean, if I got all this money and everything, if it's not like aside from, like, the competitive spirit, you know? And I think, like, the second and most important reason, I think, is to show everyone that he is able to come back, that he still is that guy, you know? Part of that could be ego, again, like, every man has his ego. You gotta respect that, right? But also it's because his attitude, you know? And I want to speak to all my young niggas, you know what I mean? All my niggas that are trying to, like, be somebody in life, you know? A man without attitude is, nigga, you pretty much a bitch, bro. I'm gonna be 100 with you, you know? Attitude, right, could mean your ability to keep getting back up, even if a nigga just, like, you know what I mean, just fucking decks you in your shit, right? Like, nigga, if you don't, like, get back up, you lose respect, you know what I mean? You're a quitter in that guy's eyes, you know? But if you get back up, nigga, you show that motherfucker you got balls, you know what I mean? If you fucking, like, if you could get back up and give it back to him, bro, you got the heart of a lion at that point. Literally, you got the heart of a fucking lion if you're able to get back up and fucking show the nigga that you ain't no bitch-made motherfucker, you know? You're able to give it back to him. And that's a perfect example of attitude, you know? Is the ability to keep getting back up, even if the odds are against you, you get what I mean? So Conor McGregor most definitely has the ability to come back. Like, he's, like, you see him now, like training in boxing and everything, you know? So what's his timeline right now? Like, when does Conor come back is what I'd imagine some of you guys might be asking, you know? If we want Conor to be at his absolute best, like, I'd say, like, maybe, like, towards, like, the end of the year, maybe the beginning of next year. And obviously, like, he's not gonna be quite the same, you know what I mean? Because, like, that was a pretty bad break. So my thing, if Conor McGregor is watching this, right, I'd say, nigga, the best way to be that guy again that you were when you beat Eddie Alvarez is to get a tune-up fight, bro. I can think of a few guys, like, up top of my head that could, like, you know, like, if you're gonna compete, like, at 170, I think, like, naturally, like, Nate Diaz. Like, if you're gonna be at, like, 155, you know. I know Michael Chandler said, like, he'd be interested at 170 with that crazy call out.
Got one dude on my mind. Conor McGregor, you gotta come back and fight somebody. I am the most entertaining lightweight on the planet, but I want to up the stakes, Conor. I want you at your biggest, I want you at your baddest, and I want you at your best. You and me at 170.
But I think like that fight would be good. I think those two fights in particular. If you want a big ass money fight, nigga, why not fucking Jorge Masvidal, bro? I mean, obviously, I think it would be perfect too, because both these niggas are like on big losing streaks, you know. Two high level strikers, you know what I mean. Two guys that, you know what I mean. You could say that they're some of the best like boxer-esque type fighters. It would be a great competitive fight, I'd argue, right? Obviously, people would be saying like, oh, Masvidal's too big, this and that. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that, bro. Conor McGregor, he's got some balls. You don't give a fuck if the nigga's like twice his size, you know what I mean? Conor McGregor is that type of fool to fight whoever, you know. He's shown that repeatedly in the past, you know. So I also think Tony Ferguson would be I think that fight might be the best one, like out of all the guys I've mentioned, you know. Because Tony Ferguson, like, he's on a decline, right? Like McGregor, he's also on a losing streak, you know. So, and plus the trash talk between those two would be fucking just entertainment for the fans, you know.
You know, absolutely. Hold on, I'm talking, brother.
So I think that would be like a really good fight. And I think any of those guys I've mentioned would be great like fights, you know, and would be great for the UFC. You know what I mean? So, do I believe Conor McGregor can come back and, you know, get on a winning streak again, possibly become champion again? Fuck yeah, I do, bro. I fucked with Conor. Like, one of the reasons why I even got into this sport is because of guys like Conor McGregor that showed like a nigga like me, a young nigga like me, you know, like a young kid like me, you know what I mean, that you can achieve your dreams through hard work, nigga. And like, if you really apply yourself, dedicate yourself, nigga, anything is possible, bro. So I definitely do believe Conor McGregor can come back, and I think he will become champion. You know, I firmly do believe that. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. Obviously, like, it's been quite some time. I think it's been like 2 months or some bullshit like that since I've made a Motivational Monday video. So I'm definitely back on the horse, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to get more consistent with this shit. You know, I got more upcoming boxing content for you guys. I'm gonna try to get into a street match soon, and looking to dominate, baby. Like, my goal right now is to be heavyweight champion of the world. I know. I got a crazy ass story time for you guys that basically convinced me that, nigga, this is my fucking destiny. You know, I firmly do believe I can become heavyweight champion of the world. You know, through hard work, dedication. You know, and showing everyone that, you know what I mean, I'm that nigga for real. So that's it, guys. Please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Improve your mindsets before improving your body. Do all that shit. Do everything you can to stay sane. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.